Welcome back to the seventh demo video. On the sixth demo video, we looked at the HR model, where we check the different submodules of the HR model. That's the attendance, the payroll, and the rest of them. Okay, in this very video, we are going to focus more on the accounting model and the reports and adding expenses. So let's start from adding expenses. But before you add expenses, you need to first of all create expense category, which I have already created 3 different expense category. Well, when you create this expense category, this system automatically creates the expense journal or ledger directly on the chart of account. So to create an expense is just a normal way you create. Click on action menu, click on add expense, specify the expense code, category code, and the name, so it will be available for you to post expense to. Then one other thing that you need to do before you be able to post expenses to make sure that your expense account is funded, and in this case we'll have it as a remittance petty account. So 2 ways to fund this account: you can transfer from any of these other account, maybe from the bank or the cash to it, or the owner of the business is bringing the money from his own owner's equity, that kind of funding the account. In that situation, the owner's equity account, one leg will be hitting the one leg of the posting that will be done automatically at the back end by the system will be hitting the equity account, and the other leg will be hitting the expense account. So let's have this particular account funded by the owner, and also we can also demonstrate having to transfer from one account to other. So if I'm going to fund this, so just click on fund. The system comes up, you enter the amount you're funding. Let's say in this case we are funding it with 1,000 or $10,000. Then we click on submit, and the account is automatically funded. So but if we are transferring from any of the accounts, let's say we are transferring from the back account to it, we click on transfer. We select the remittance account, enter the amount. Let's say we are transferring 30 or 50,000. So once you click on submit, the system deducts from here and adds to this. So another point you also need to know is that for your cash sales, each time you go to bank to deposit the money to bank, when you return from the bank, you need to transfer the amount that you have, the amount of cash that you have moved to bank from bank to the amount of cash you have moved to bank from cash to bank, to any of the bank, and you can do that through this transfer button. Or you can also, if you are acquainted with accounting terms and how accounting posting is done, another place you can do that is from the account entry. So from the account entry, you do a journal entry to indicate that you are debiting. For instance, if we are moving our cash to ABC Bank, so we can select this. Let's say we are moving, how much do we have there? Let's open it on a new tab. Let's say we have in our cash account now we have 2.8. So let's say we have gone to the bank to deposit deposit, let's say 500,000 to this ABC account, which is the receiving. ABC is receiving value, so it will be to be on the debit leg. Let's say bank deposit. So you add this, and we have to credit cash sell. So you have cash sell credited. You can have as many of them added together. By the time you click on submit, the system does deposit. You can click here to view the posting that you did. ABC Bank was debited, received value, while cash sell reduced value. So if you come to this payment account and refresh, you see that the balance of the cash sell has also reduced by 500, and this increased by 500. So let's go back to the expense account that we are trying to have a look at. So back to the expense account. To add expense, now we have funded a remittance account already. So you click on add expense. you select the expense category. Let's say in this time around we are paying for utility. Then you have a warehouse that utility is the location that utility is being paid for. You select it. Then select your remittance account. The system gives you the balance of in your remittance account. Whenever your balance is low, you won't be able to post any amount that is higher than this. So let's say this time we're paying 25,000 for this utility. Say utility util bill payment. So once you click on this, the system adds that for you. So that is how to add expenses and have it posted to your different the different ledger or journal is supposed to post automatically. So having done that, let's now have a kind of a rundown through of the accounting and the accounting report now. So because that's more of what we're going to be seeing from this ledger account. I've told you what I've explained this earlier on the first video. You get to see the chart of account. This gives you a rundown of all a summary of all the journals, group, and ledger accounts that you have on the system. Is if you have accounting knowledge, you'll be able to understand this part better. You can collapse this field to view the sub ledgers and directories you have inside here. Okay, another thing you can view this in two different formats. You can click here to have it in this tabular format. It's the same value, same thing that is inside there, or you can have it in the other collapsible format. You can create more group and more ledger on each one, depending on how you want to go about it and your understanding of accounting system. Okay, so you can create more group from here. You can create more ledger from here. I've just used this to demonstrate how you can also do your manual accounting entry. This is actually for those that have knowledge about accounting. Okay, but the way the system has been designed, you don't need to do any of this if you don't have you don't need to worry if you don't have the accounting knowledge, because the system automatically does all the activities. For instance, all the activities, the sales, the purchase you have been making, the system has been doing the posting already automatically. So we can come now to view for the accounting settings. You have to set your financial year. For instance, this financial year is running from January to December. So once it's December 31st, the system automatically prompts you to set up your new financial year. So you have to do that depending on how your financial year runs. It can run from August to July, however you want to do it, but you just need to set it up. Okay, then you have if you want to understand how the system does automatically does its posting, so you have to have a look at this C of A chart of account ledger mapping. This is how the system does the posting and the mapping, the automatic posting that it does for equity and the rest of it. You can also change this by clicking here, and I explained this in our first intro video. Then have four major entry type. That's receipt, payment, contract, and journal. You can create more if you understand how the system works and accounting as well. Okay, then having said that, the next thing we're looking at is our accounting report. So I try to have a different format of this accounting report to put it in different format that users might want to view it. Like I told you, this is basically this system was modified based on different modifications I've done for different clients from different part of the world, and I just have to pull them together and be able to come up with this. So based on it, also the ledger, the way they wanted the different ledgers and reporting, that is how I was able to see how I can accommodate all of them on this. So the first is I have here is kind of the general ledger that is in this format. You can click by current financial year and use date range on it. So that is how this is being reporting. Then you also have another GL general ledger with running balances. This one is, I think, one of the clients prefer this format, so you can also have this filter to view in different state and have it printed, exported to Excel. View the entries if you want, is as well. So apart from this, the next we'll have here is the ledger entry, which I've shown you. You can Here you can view different entries to different ledgers. So you can, from the select account, select the particular account you want to see the entries to. The entries I've made to it, and once you do that, you click on submit. You can view the entry type, whether you want to see only credit, a credit entry, or debit entry, and you will have it listed here. Okay, the next is the ledger statement, which almost these first four reports have a lot of similarities. Okay, but the fifth one is the trial balance. The trial balance. Okay, the trial balance, you can also have it in another format. You can filter it in another format. Maybe by showing only accounts that has value in them, and these are all collapsible. You can collapse these to view this subgroup and on the ledgers under each main account group or account name. Okay, then the next is the profit and loss. The profit and loss. This is also in two formats. This is the report format of profit and loss. All these are also collapsible. You can collapse this to see. This shows your revenue, your operating revenue, your gross total gross income, your gross expenses, your net income, and indirect operating costs, and every other thing. Then you have your gross profit and net profit all brought down. You can view this report also in that format by unchecking this and submitting. You have it in a kind of a double entry format where you have the debit on one side and the credit on one side. That's income on one side and expenses on one side. It still gives you the same reports. Then the next report we have here is the balance sheet. The balance sheet. Yeah, the balance sheet also you can view it in the report format or in the vertical format. So all you need to do, if you want to view it in a different format, you can just uncheck this and submit this. You have it in debit and credit. That's asset and liability format. Then another one is the cash flow. The cash flow. The cash flow is this just a simple cash flow. I know a client that prefers it this way. Then I also have the kind of the standard format of cash flow. That's where you have the operating activities, financing activities, and investment activities all listed here. So that is it for this in reports. So I'm going to be setting up providing the link for this for the cloud version demo for any of you to have a hands-on. Okay, I don't think there is any other thing that will be missing from the system that I've not explained on the system. We are open to your own idea of view for how you want the system to be. Any modification you want to be made can be done for you. Thank you very much. Bye.